education, your independence. Those are the things, respect for yourself and others, understanding what those means to truly empower yourselves. Those will make you men and women of tomorrow.
On our pages today, more encouragement to our youth from Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Orlando Terlong, a brand new episode of School Zone, and more. You don't want to miss any of what's lined up for you, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
JamaicaEye can help you protect our citizens.
JamaicaEye will play a part in increasing your public safety.
JamaicaEye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, log on to JamaicaEye.gov.jm today. JamaicaEye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, March 6. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government has a coordinated and comprehensive plan to manage the new coronavirus known as COVID-19 should it reach our shores. Mr. Holness gave the assurance Thursday during a meeting of the National Disaster Risk Management Council at Jamaica House. The Prime Minister reminded the gathering that the island was always in a state of readiness and preparedness for managing risks such as COVID-19.
The plan calls for the maintenance of not just plans or protocols for responses, but it calls for the maintenance of supplies and stocks and having systems in good order. And from my review, my general review so far, I am told that we would be certainly above what is the minimum requirement for our response.
Mr. Holness also urged the citizens to practice proper hygiene to prevent the spread of the virus. A special call was made to fisherfolk.
Please do not take back any contraband to Jamaica, including COVID-19.
Meanwhile, the government is monitoring developments regarding the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan, in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. Minister of Sport Olivia Grange says the local Olympics Committee is in constant dialogue with the international organizing body, being updated on matters regarding the situation. The Tokyo Games, slated for July 24 to August 9, is under threat due to the spread of COVID-19 globally.
We are concerned, but although we are concerned, we continue to support the athletes in their preparation for the Olympics. And this is why we are providing $20,000 per week to the athletes. We'll work out to be at about 200 athletes, $20,000 per week for 18 weeks.
Ms. Grange was speaking during Wednesday's meeting of the Standing Finance Committee of the House of Representatives at Gordon House. Government has launched a new risk management standard to manage hazards in public sector organizations. The JS ISO 31000-2019 Risk Management Guidelines was launched at the offices of the Bureau of Standards, Jamaica, on Tuesday. It is in keeping with the 2018 Risk Management Policy. It is applicable to all organizations and will cover all types of risks. The guidelines are in keeping with the national outcome, which is geared towards achieving a stable macroeconomic environment and to reduce risk and uncertainty in decision-making by economic factors.
Standards are a proven way of ensuring that organizations and individuals implement and practice sound governance. It's a proven way in ensuring that you protect value in your organization by managing risk, by managing decisions, by setting and achieving objectives and improving performance. Standards clearly are also a powerful tool to stimulate trade, to overcome artificial barriers, to help level the playing field. And in a world where the influence and economic weight of emerging economies is shifting the balance of power, standards are critical.
State Minister of Education Orlando Terlong says children must be taught dispute resolution techniques in order to promote peace in the society. He made the statements while participating in National Peace Day activities on Tuesday at the Nagohead Primary School in Bridgeport, St. Catherine.
Unless we can start to train our young kings and queens about conflict resolution and how to resolve issues and dispute without violence, then we will not see a change.
During the function, Mr. Terry Long and education specialist from the United Nations Children's Fund, Dr. Rebecca Tortello, signed the Safe to Learn initiative. It aims to ensure that all schools are safe spaces for children. National Peace Day in schools was observed under the theme, Peace is the Way for a Better Day. The National Insurance Scheme, NIS, has digitized more than 90,000 of its records so far to increase the efficiency of its operations. Director of National Insurance, Portia Magnus, says the NIS has also started the automation of its funeral grant benefits, which is currently being piloted at its Kingston and St. Andrew branch.
On our part, what we have been doing is trying to digitize our records and to automate the benefit and approval processes.
Ms. Magnus was speaking during a recent JIS Get the Facts program. She reiterated that come April 1, the NIS contributions would increase from 5.5% to 6% of individuals' salaries. The NIS is a compulsory contributory funded social security system that covers all employed persons. And finally, approximately 8,000 tourism workers who do not have certification are being targeted by the government for formal training. The training program will be conducted over the next 2 years in collaboration with the American Hotel and Lodging Educational Institute. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says workers who are performing well at their jobs in the accommodation and attraction sector will be targeted for the project. Mr. Bartlett says it's necessary to improve the human capacity of the workers to meet the growing demands of the industry. He was speaking at a recent sensitization session on the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme in Portland. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Domestic violence and abuse has always been going on. Say to victims, report the matter, seek help, go to your local police. There are persons who are trained in the various divisions to deal with domestic violence and domestic abuse. We have 2 centers that are currently operational. One is at the Matilda's Corner Police Station. You can call the Matilda's Corner Police Station for that. The other one is at Air 5 Headquarters. That's on the same compound as Constant Spring Police Station. The number is 702-5120 or 702-5121. Co-workers, neighbors, family members, don't sit silently and say, oh, I knew they were having difficulties, but I didn't know the extent. No. Seek help on their behalf and tell your victim or your friend who is the victim, say to them, listen, I want to help you and I'm going to help you, but I have to seek help outside of me.
Jamaica has become a source, transit, and destination country for victims of human trafficking, but our government is taking a zero-tolerance approach. A national task force against trafficking in persons was established to monitor and coordinate responses to human trafficking, and Anti-trafficking in persons clubs initiative was also launched in schools. Learn more next.
A silent march is just one of the many strategies being implemented by this institution to fight human trafficking. Hello there and welcome to School Zone. We're at the Port Antonio High School, the first high school in Jamaica to establish the Anti-trafficking in persons club.
School zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone.
A group of students had gone to a workshop in 2018 And they were so concerned when they heard the information that they came back to school and spoke to their teachers and said that they wanted to start a club here, because it really touched them. They realized how easy it was for persons to be caught up. I mean, you think of slavery as something in the past, you don't realize that it's very much present and very much also, unfortunately, here in Jamaica. So they wanted to get the information out because they wanted to keep their fellow classmates and their families safe. And our students decided to have a silent march because they wanted to highlight human trafficking, and basically they want persons to understand that too often it's silent, and they want persons to break the silence. We started from the NCB Bank and we walked all the way down to school.
Read a book, magazine, newspaper. Read a book right now or later. Read a book for the higher education. Read a book, oh what a sensation. Read a book, magazine, newspaper. Read a book right now or later. Read a book for the higher education. Read a book, oh what a sensation. Read a book.
Hi, I'm Wendy and Ivy, the 2019 second place winner of the Rita Marley Foundation Public Speaking Competition, and you're watching School Zone.
Human trafficking is modern slavery. It has many forms and faces. Men, women, and children of all ages, race, and class can become prey. They are exploited through the use of force, fraud, or coercion. They are controlled by another person, treated as property, and stripped of their rights. Human trafficking is modern slavery. Let's put an end to it.
Observing the students on their silent march, we headed back to the school campus where we're at one of their club meetings to learn more about the club, their initiatives, and human trafficking.
We have 10 objectives, and one of them is to create a strong fraternity so we can spread the social issue of human trafficking on a global level. And the second one is to be a role model for other schools and societies so we can get the awareness of human trafficking to spread even faster.
We make sure that the students are aware that human trafficking is real and it exists within our country. We have also had sessions with the parents of our students here. We have the police came in before, had a discussion with us about how we can benefit from educating our fellow students about human trafficking. Also, one of our activities coming up is that we want to educate the younger persons from primary school that certain things that they do on the road, can affect certain things that happen to them in the future.
Victims of human trafficking can be found in hotels, salons, massage parlors, nightclubs, and even in the homes.
Victims of human trafficking display signs that include trauma, limited freedom, they are often unpaid, seems to be in debt, they are afraid to speak, afraid of the police, and have limited access to medical care.
Well, the Port Antonio High School Anti-Human Trafficking Club meet every first and last Tuesday at the month in the school auditorium, and anyone can become a member. Just attend one of the meetings, ask for the guidance counselor, get a membership form, sign up, and attend as much meeting as possible.
The first case we had was of 7 Indian nationals who were trafficked, and where they were found, they were living where the dogs were living. They were not fed, just given scraps. So those are just some real male stuff.
If you know of someone who is being trafficked, call the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime arm of the Jamaica Constabulary Force at 876-967-5627 or 876-967-1389.
So thank you so much, guys, for having me here today, teaching me about the club and what you're doing to fight human trafficking. At this moment, we're about to close the program. But before we go, we have a few important facts about human trafficking for you.
Did you know that 71% of women and girls between the age of 13 and 18 are the main victims of human trafficking?
Did you know human trafficking has 6 main forms, but the most common of these are sex trafficking and forced labor? Did you know that persons who are victims of human trafficking are oftentimes lured by people who they know and trust, such as family members and friends?
Did you know that human trafficking is one of the most unreported crimes in the world? Many victims are afraid to come forward because of fear and because they develop Stockholm syndrome.
Did you know that a study conducted in 2018 has proven that more females are charged with human trafficking than males? Females are less likely to be suspected because they use their gender as a disguise to lure their victims.
I hope you were jotting down notes. And this is where we close the program. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of School Zone. If you want your school featured, simply email me at sjohnson@gis.gov.jm. Take care.
School zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone.
We can no longer turn a blind eye to our children. Each of us have the duty to protect them. As we continue to strengthen our protection campaign, we ask that you try positive discipline. Talk not once, twice, 3 times, 7 times even. In talking to your child, you make them comfortable to tell you about what is affecting them. Tell our children the truth and tell them what is wrong and why. We remind our parents, if you are having difficulties with your child, we are here for you to support you, along with the many other agencies that are set up for this purpose. Additionally, we remind parents that if you see another parent in need of help or sound advice, reach out and provide support. Every child is our child.
The Acts of Random Kindness initiative is being spearheaded by the Jamaica Constabulary Force to instill kindness and good social behavior and attitudes in our youth. Acts of kindness, gratitude, and respect can go a long way. They can create a ripple effect in society, prompting persons to share the love and create a better Jamaica. Here's more.
So many times we sit and we talk and we say, hey, I would love for Jamaica to be this kind of place. But what are you really doing? What type of Jamaica do you want to see?
We're hoping to use art to teach Jamaica that it's not the thunder that grows the flower, it's the gentle rain. We want Jamaica to stop thundering for everything and start to put forth gentle rain, especially in the lives of our youth.
This gentle rain is the Acts of Random Kindness initiative being put forward by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, a program that inspires and encourages expressions of kindness.
Our project comes out of our youth empowerment and mentorship program, where we're teaching our youngsters to know themselves, to know their purpose, to understand that it is important to cultivate attitudes of kindness, gratitude, and respect, as well as to put themselves on a good destiny, a life path.
The Youth Empowerment and Mentorship Program uses the iPad Summer Camp to teach resilience and social skills to children from at-risk communities.
If we can show you an act of kindness when you were young, if you were to reciprocate this act of kindness to somebody else, what a wonderful Jamaica this could be.
We saw a youth leader in the camp who decided to take responsibility for the lack of a belt on one of his team's part and said, you know what, you have my belt, and I will then take the responsibility for the consequences. It's like an evolution and a revolution all at once, because they made revolutionary changes to their behaviors, as opposed to when they just came on day one, day two, and you could start to see them evolving into being kind and gentler youth.
Action means identity, purpose, attitude, and destiny. So with the attitude, you have I will show respect, kindness, and gratitude. It's important because most youths are growing up in very disturbing societies where a level of kindness and love isn't shown. So the camp actually gives us that love that is missing from our lives and help us to reflect this on others as well.
We want our youth to do tangible acts of random kindness, to be kindness ambassadors in their schools and communities. This will in turn raise the awareness in adults that they too should be agents of change.
We are challenging Jamaica to engage in a very self-conscious way in acts of random kindness amongst adults and towards our children. We want you to think kind, Jamaica. We want you to act kind. We want you to be kind.
I am ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. You have to have kindness in your heart. You have to be compassionate towards people. Some persons really need it. A little act of kindness sometimes motivates somebody else.
So we want our youngsters at school, at home, and at play to think kind, act kind, and be kind. It is a message that needs to be self-conscious.
We are inviting you, youth, adults, business places, to take up your link in the chain and bring this initiative to life. Respond with smiles, hugs, positive affirmations, and acts of kindness to transform relationships in homes, schools, the workplace. Transform relationships right across Jamaica.
If we want a kinder, gentler Jamaica, where all of us want to live, work, and raise families, it is important that each and every one of us start to think about the words that we speak to our children. Start with a kind word. Start by giving a smile and saying good day. Start by saying thank you. Start by giving a hug. Where you can be a mentor, just listen to their concern. Show that you have some degree of understanding and empathy.
Be conscious, be aware. The cost to being kind is a state of mind.
I encourage the deaf children to have deaf pride, to know that they can. You're on the same level as a hearing person. It doesn't matter that you can't hear. You have a lot of deaf adults who are successful, and you can achieve. You can get the education that you want, you can do anything that you want, you can achieve. Don't feel like you can't because you're deaf.
In believing that nothing is impossible, I have been able to culture a very positive attitude to life, and that positive attitude has worked for me, and I am confident it will work for others. I would want to say to persons with vision impairment and disabilities that it is critical that they become tooled or retooled with the appropriate technologies that can help to drive the way forward so that they can accomplish their vision and their goals.
Children with disabilities, whether you have CP or not, I strongly believe that you have a purpose. My disability has taught me that when it says the sky is the limit, it is. There are times when you're going to fall, but what is to stop you from rising?
National Peace Day was observed this week under the theme, Peace is the Way for a Better Day. To share in the commemoration, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Alando Terlong, visited the Nagohead Primary School in St. Catherine to inform students how they can become peacekeepers and help transform Jamaica into a better place for persons to live, work, raise their families, and do business. Watch this.
Unless and until we train our young kings that it is okay to focus on your education, because an education maketh a man. Until we train our young kings that it is okay to respect your sisters, respect your mothers, respect every single woman in your life, respect your teachers, my young kings. Unless we start to train our boys that respect for yourself and respect for others, those are the qualities that make you a man. Unless we start to train our young boys that it is okay to say, I'm sorry, excuse me. All right, no problem, man. All right, no problem. We can talk about it. All right, no problem. It's all right, man. It's cool. Unless we can start to train our young kings and queens about conflict resolution and how to resolve issues and dispute without violence, then we will not see a change in Jamaica.
The Planning Institute of Jamaica Dialogue for Development 2020 comes to Montego Bay on Thursday, March 12 under the theme Aging and Development, Exploding Myths, Exploring Opportunities at the Noel S. Fraser Auditorium, Mount Salem, St. James, starting at 9:30 a.m. Topics include business development, health services, financial planning, and lifestyle services for seniors. The Dialogue for Development 2020 is in pursuit of sustainable development, brought to you by the Planning Institute of Jamaica, planning today, securing tomorrow.
There's nothing wrong with Jamaica that makes it what is right. Oh, I believe. And regardless of our struggles, we can rise again. Oh, I believe. Others believe in us, but we must also sing. Oh, I believe. I believe that we can make a change and spread a belief of hope across our country. I believe that we can join our hands and make a difference in Jamaica. I believe. I believe. There's steam in every paper, X in every classroom. I believe. Oh, priests in all our churches, God in all our homes. I believe. It's time to claim our nation and start a reformation. I believe. I believe that we can make a change and spread a belief of hope across our country. I believe that we can join our hands and make a difference in Jamaica. I believe.
Unfortunately, this is where we close off our magazine for today. We do hope it was an inspiring one. If you enjoyed our show, feel free to drop us an email at JamaicaMagazine@jis.gov.jm or send us a message on any of our social media sites. While you're at it, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for more information on government's life-changing programs and initiatives. I'm Sandra Johnson, reminding you to inspire and be inspired.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.